The tension, the yearning, the found family, my heart. So good. Literally me with the right move. Put it in my veins. Put it in my veins. Put it in my veins. Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Laurin. I'm a lover of all things books, home, and beauty. In today's video, it is my monthly wrap-up. I've been on my P's and Q's. I have every month since I said I was gonna start. I have been wrapping up the books that I read in each month at the end of each month. It is officially October. Yes! We've been waiting for this all year. Yes, ma'am, I'm so happy. Is it still 90 degrees? Do I have back sweat and swan still? I sure do, I sure do. But it's officially October. I'm so freaking excited. I read 6 books in the month of September, so I kind of had a reading month. I will fill you guys in as to why, because as you guys know, if you watch the Days of My Life vlog, you know what I've been reading, you know what I've been up to, you know I'm a mood reader. You know, based on what I'm reading, that's how I'm gonna be feeling. It was an month for me, September. I read 6 books, which is not bad. It's not always about how many books you read, it's about how much fun you had. And as always in this video, I am gonna start with the very first book I read, and I'm gonna walk you guys through my mood and kind of how the vibes are. So if you guys wanna hear more about the books I read in September and if I would recommend them to you, then keep on watching. The first book I read in the month of September was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Also, I know the UK version says Philosophers and then the USA one is Sorcerers, but we're just gonna say Philosopher's Stone. I've actually already read Harry Potter 1 through 3, and if you watch my fall TBR, I was telling you guys that I am going to reread the Harry Potter series because I've never read it all the way through, and I am super, super obsessed. If you don't know, I feel like everybody knows the story of Harry Potter, the boy who lived. We love him. It follows our main character, Harry. He is an orphan and he learns that his parents were wizards, and he goes to Hogwarts. Very magical, very whimsical, very cozy. Not really explaining Harry Potter to you guys, but this was the perfect start to my fall reading vibes. Even though we were in Florida when I was reading this, and I was just like, I'm not feeling very spooky. I'm feeling very beachy. I've already read this book, so it was 5 stars yet again. It is just a 5-star read. Harry Potter, there is nothing freaking like it. It is so cozy, so nostalgic. I've talked about this before, but I was not allowed to read the Harry Potter books when I was younger or watch the movies. So I watched the movies first. That's why I have not read it all the way through. So if you guys watch my fall TBR, you know I'm healing my inner child. Yes, we are reading all the things, and I am freaking obsessed with it. I am literally obsessed with it. It was very cozy, happy vibes. Even when hitting the fan, it's not really hitting the fan because it's just, you know, it's YA, it's cozy, it's magical, and I feel like it is the perfect thing to read in September because that's when Harry goes back to school. So love it. Obsessed. The next book I read in the month of September was Praise by Cate. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell you guys what I rated it. I am so upset. I rated it 2 out of 5 stars. And listen, don't shoot. I love, literally love an ex-boyfriend's dad. I love an ex-boyfriend's dad trope. I will eat it up every freaking time. Birthday Girl, if you guys know, I literally never shut up and never stop talking about Birthday Girl. I am obsessed with Birthday Girl. It is everything to me. Penelope Douglas, that trope, it just got me, right? The next ex-boyfriend's dad, I wanna say, was Chasing the Wild by Elliott Rose. I've also talked about that. Freaking obsessed. So everyone tells me I was gonna start with Keep Me by Cate, which is I think it's a Scottish romance, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited, this looks so good, and everyone was like, it's not that good. Everybody told me to start with Praise. So I'm like, okay, period. What's not to love? Okay? Maybe it's because I wasn't ovulating. Okay? Maybe that's what it was. It took me so long to finish this book. First of all, let me just start off by saying, I feel like we had a lot of insta-lust, okay? Maybe that's my problem. I feel like there's no build-up, okay? And a lot of you are probably Laurin, you read very smutty things and they're on the insta-lust spectrum, but here's the thing. I feel like I also wasn't attached to the characters. Literally the only character that I liked in this book was the little sister. I loved the little sister. She was hilarious. I was more invested in her story and her life, what was going on. The older sister aspect, amazing. But I didn't care. I didn't care about the characters, and I feel like it was just the forbidden aspect didn't really even feel forbidden to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like we kind of got thrown into it. I think what also really, really annoyed me with this book, and honestly, I feel awful because I love taboo romances, but I feel like this one I wasn't attached to the characters, and it honestly is a me problem. It has nothing to do with the writing. I just feel like this was there wasn't any substance to the characters. There wasn't any connection for me personally, and I feel like it just happened, and yeah, it was a lot of smut, but I didn't even really enjoy the smut because I just didn't really care. So for me, I feel like if I'm not personally connected to the characters, and if I feel like it's just like sex and no like emotions behind it, I also, whenever he bought her from that auction, it's not like I was like, oh my god, he's buying her. It seemed very pointless to me. Like it seemed very pointless, and I just feel like it was just a lot of games, and it was not very genuine, and I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the smut. The FMC got on my nerves. Like, she really annoyed me. She was kind of insufferable. This is something that is like such a side note, but her like wearing little outfits and being like, oh, if he grunted, he liked it, or if he didn't grunt, he didn't like it. Okay, like, you start working for his dad. The FMC just didn't have a lot going on, and I just felt like bored, honestly. Nothing against the writing, nothing against the author. I just was extremely bored. And if you're reading a series about a sex club, about an ex-boyfriend's dad, I was bored. I was literally bored, and I feel like I wanted a little bit more of a story, and I wanted to work for it a little more. Again, I did not read this when I was ovulating. Okay, when I'm ovulating, I might have thought something different, but I wasn't into it. I wanted to be. So if you like that book, that is amazing. I am still gonna try to read Sarah Cate. I don't know if I'll continue the Salacious Players Club. I didn't really care to find out more about the rest of the characters. Again, like I said, maybe it was a mood reading thing. I don't know if vacation threw me off. I don't know what it was, but I wanted to love this so bad, and a lot of my besties recommended this to me, and I'm so sad because I found myself, like, while I was reading, I was literally zoning out. And like, I don't know, I just wasn't into it. I thought it was too easy. I thought that there was no substance to the couple or the like characters separately, and I just wasn't into it. I didn't like either one of the characters. I literally only liked the sister. So yeah, it just was giving nothing to me, and it also just wasn't entertaining. It was boring, and I never ever like super extremely complain about a book like this, and I'm not trying to tell anyone to not read it. It just wasn't for me personally, and I felt very bored as I was reading it. 2 out of 5 stars. I will be reading more Sarah Cate, but I don't think I will be continuing that specific series. I'm sorry. I wanted to love it. The next book I read was Pucking Strong by Emily Rath. You guys know I was so freaking excited for this one. I rated this 3 out of 5 stars. If you go to my Goodreads and you try to find my review, you cannot find it. I don't know if Emily Rath has cut ties with Goodreads or if her book is just blocked right now, but I could not rate it and I could not review it on Goodreads, so that's why there's not a review on there. Okay, this is why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Let me talk my real quick, okay? Pucking Strong is the 4th book in the Jacksonville Rays series. You can literally see the series right there. We have Pucking Around, Pucking Wild, Pucking Sweet, and Pucking Strong. If you've read the Jacksonville Rays series, you know what to expect. Okay, it's sports romance. It's fun. It's light. It's yes. When I went into Pucking Strong, you guys know I love to go into a story blind. I literally had no idea what it was about. Okay. Also, I'm coming off of praise. Keep this in mind. Like I said, like I was just bored. I was bored and I did not care. So when I'm coming off something like that, I was excited to read a sports romance. Hockey will always get me out of like an eh. So I was kind of like an after praise. I'm gonna tell you why I rated Pucking Strong 3 stars, because I go into Pucking Strong after reading the entire Jacksonville Ray series, super excited because it's MM. So she announces that it's MM. I'm like, yes, nothing like a freaking MM romance. Okay, there's just nothing like it. So I'm like, okay, what's this gonna be? I don't look at the tropes. I will tell you guys the tropes, non-spoiler of course. Fake marriage, MM romance, forced proximity. One thing about me, I love a fake marriage. One thing about me, I love when 2 characters are pretending and no one else knows they're pretending, and it's like the forced proximity and the tension and the, love it. When I went into this book, and this is a me problem, okay? This was a me problem. When I went into this book, I was expecting the same energy as the rest of the Jacksonville Rays series, which is shmuddy, a little emotional, a little cliffhanger, a little stuff they have to go through, shmuddy, happily ever after. Sometimes a 3rd act breakup. Actually, I think every single one of them has a 3rd act breakup. I don't mind a 3rd act breakup, right? This one is different. This is a slow burn, and no spoilers, of course, but I will just set the scene. So Teddy O'Connor used to be the PTA like assistant for the Jacksonville Rays. I do not really remember his character. He was such a like smaller character in the rest of the books. Like he was there, but it wasn't really like about him, obviously. And so Teddy is now a PT, and he has been crushing on Henrik Carlson, which he plays for the Jacksonville Rays. He's very to himself, very just business on the ice. Again, he didn't really stick out to me in the other books because he was giving nothing, right? And his character is very just closed off. I'm pretty sure he's a Capricorn. Yes. I'm pretty sure he's a Capricorn. And Teddy, our PT, he is a Pisces, so he's very emotional. I'm pretty sure he's a double Pisces. And so we had kind of like a grumpy sunshine coming, okay? Teddy is the sunshine, Henrik is the grumpy, okay? The grumpy, reserved, not emotional. The book starts out with a tragedy, and I'm not gonna tell you guys what the tragedy is. Actually really loved that part of the book, but, I mean, not that there was a tragedy, but I loved like that conflict of the book. But it starts out, there's a tragedy. So off the bat, we're getting some heavy things, right? And again, when you go into a hockey romance, especially the Jacksonville Rays, it's been like, woo, 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 lighthearted, whatever, okay? The conflict usually doesn't come till later. So I get off praise and I'm starting to read and I'm like, yes, period. It's, baby, we're in the you know what I mean? We're in the already. And I'm like, okay, I want to have fun. So this is another part of my problem, okay? This is right off the bat, okay? They end up getting married, fake marriage, so that Henrik can get custody of his niece because something happens and he needs to get custody of his niece. Because I'm not going to tell you because I was like, you want to be emotionally tied, right? So they have this fake marriage and they have to basically convince the press that they're happy. But Teddy is yearning for Henrik the whole time. He's had this secret crush. Loved the yearning aspect. I loved it. But one thing about me, and I loved Henrik, I love him finding his sexuality, finding what he wants in life, being open to having something else besides just hockey and work, because he has to take guardianship of his niece, and in order to have guardianship, this fake marriage helps him. He's also from Sweden, so is his niece, so he's trying to get her to the States because he obviously plays for a hockey team in the US. So there's all of these things, hence the fake marriage, right? Okay, enter Teddy, our sweet baby boy. We love Teddy, and I love Henrik too. And in the end, it did come together and it works just like every HEA does. There's always a happily ever after. But I will say this, it was such a slow burn. And again, the reason I rated it 3 stars and not 4 is because I feel like it took me so long to get through the book, okay? And Emily Rath's books, I eat them up like candy. The Jacksonville Rays, I'm like, I can't put it down. The tension, not just the smut, just the pacing of the book is a lot faster. I do feel like this book was super different, and I feel like Emily Rath is taking a completely different route for this book, and I appreciate that and I love that. I just, sometimes going in blind with a book kind of hurts me, and I should have maybe brushed up on what the book was about. I was just going in like, hell yeah, another Emily Rath book, and I was so excited about it, and then like it took me forever to get through it because it was more of a serious book. Was there smut? Yes. Is it a slow burn? Yes. But I felt like it was just a lot of work to get to the things that I enjoyed about the book. I love the found family, absolutely loved it. I loved, like I said, Henrik learning about himself, you know, learning to let people in. I loved Teddy finally being loved the way he deserved. I love Caro, which is Henrik's niece, kind of the found family without giving anything away. I loved the found family just of the Jacksonville Rays. I love the Jacksonville Rays. If you've read any of that series by Emily Rath, 10 out of 10 would recommend. This is probably my least favorite book in the entire series. So just saying that, not because it was bad, but because, like I said, it was so different. And you guys, I was coming off praise and I was literally like so bored with praise. And maybe that's a me problem. Not every book is gonna be for everybody, okay? So I'm not trying to like on praise, and I'm not on this book either. I actually enjoyed this book, but I enjoyed this book like 70% and on. But from the 1 to like, let's say 50, I was literally like falling asleep. Now the end of the book, like the last chunk, I was like, oh, yes. Loved it. The tension, the yearning, the found family, my heart. But it was just a long time coming. Been a long time coming, yeah. But anyway, it was a long time coming. So yeah, do with that what you will. But I will say, if you haven't read the Jacksonville Rays series, it is schmutty and it's fun. But this book was just a different spin. I was like, okay, Miss Rath, she's being serious. And I did love the depth of it. I just didn't know what to expect. So that's why I got 3 stars. And also because it was like, it was too long. That's another thing. It was too long, but it was good. It was good. And there were moments where I was like, oh, I want to tear up. I want to cry for them. I did not, but I wanted to because like I felt for them. And here's the thing. Just like how I wasn't connected in praise, I was very connected to these characters by the time the book ended. I just didn't know I was signing up for a little emo vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're reading a hockey romance, usually like there's conflicts, but it's not like sad. I would definitely recommend this book. I just want to let you guys know, if you've read the entire Jacksonville Rays series and you were waiting to read Pucking Strong, a lot of people actually DM me on Instagram and they're like, can I read this as a standalone? You can read all of them as a standalone, but I loved seeing glimpses of the other characters from the Jacksonville Rays, and I would highly recommend reading the entire series. Just know that this book is a little different, okay? It's just a little different, but I still enjoyed it. It was just a little heavier and a little more serious, and I didn't know what I was going into, but I still enjoyed it. The next book I read was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This, I also mentioned in my fall TBR. This is book 1 in the Mortal Instruments series. This is gonna be in a video way later on because I'm reading the entire Mortal Instruments series. I'm still reading it. I'm still reading it. How many of those books did I read in the month of September? 1. So I'm coming off fucking strong. I actually was reading these at the same time. And I'm coming off fucking strong, and like, it took me a long time to finish it. And I was like, yes, I finished it. I liked it, you know, whatever. And then I read this one. Oh, I need to tell you the rating. I rated this one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was very cozy, very nostalgic. It's YA. I also, too, was so over smut from praise. So bored. Then I was over the smut by the time I got there in fucking strong. It was good, but I was just like, okay, like whatever. So I feel like I read City of Bones at like the perfect time. I loved City of Bones. I loved the world building. It follows our main character, Clary, and basically she finds out that she can see these shadow hunters and beings that nobody else can see, so I thought that was really cool, kind of like a secret world. She finds out that not everything is as it seems to be. She finds out that her mom, after a long time, has lied to her about her life, about what's going on. So basically this book is about Clary getting answers. She gets separated from her mom early on in the beginning of the book, by the way. She has a best friend named Simon who is, you know, not involved in this new world. So the whole book is basically about Clary, her bestie Simon, and this new character we meet, Jace, who is a part of this Shadowhunter world. And it's set in New York also in the early 2000s, which love, 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 love. Very cutie, and the visuals are just so cozy, and that's really all I can tell you, honestly, because like I said, you guys will get to see my full spoiler reactions of this entire series in a vlog. I'm just gonna upload it all in one vlog of me reading from book 1 to book, I believe there's 6 books. You guys will see all of my reactions, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. It is YA, not really schmutty, not really for adults, like kids so far can read it, but it's very, very nostalgic. It's very, very fall coded. Something about New York is just fall to me, and I've really, really enjoyed it. There is like a plot twist at the end, which Mortal Instruments has been out for a minute, and my best friend literally told me about the plot twist forever ago, but I just forgot in my brain like that she told me this. So when I got to the end, you guys will see my reactions if you watch the vlog later. I'm just like, what? So I really, really enjoyed it. I definitely saw some foreshadowing, but again, it was one of those things where it's like a fantasy, like an urban fantasy, where I can kind of turn my brain off and I just want to escape to a different world. I really, really liked it. There were times like the MMC Jace, he kind of got on my nerves. And like my best friend, she read it when she was younger and she's like, do you not love Jace? Jace is also a blonde man. I've talked to you guys about this. I was like, first of all, these are children to me. Okay, this is YA, so I'm not thinking like, ooh, he's so sassy and cute. No. But second of all, he got on my nerves. But I feel like throughout the series, I'm gonna come to love him. Like it's gonna be one of those things. And I just feel like I enjoyed all of the characters. Isabel, if you've read this, I love Isabel. I am Isabel. First of all, me and Isabel, twin. I feel like she's and I love a character. Of course, Tori Vega, Nesta, you know what I mean? Like, I love a girl. But yeah, I loved Isabel. I love Simon, my baby. And I like Clary. She got on my nerves a little bit. She's a little whiny sometimes. Jace, annoying. Those are the 2 main characters, literally. But Simon is my favorite. Isabel's my favorite. And I love, 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 love the New York setting. So I will be continuing those books, but I only read 1 book in September. I promise I'm gonna go hard. I just, like, you guys, I'm doing this wrap up, and as I'm like revisiting how I felt about all these books, I'm like, I was sleepy in September. Wake me up when September ends. You guys know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. The Mortal Instruments is so cozy. I cannot wait. My bestie says that it's gonna break my heart. I love that. I love that. I can't wait. The next book I read was Mile High by Liz Tomforde. Is it Tomforde or is it Tomforde? 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 Jordan Belford, like I can't even speak. But anyway, I loved this book. This is the first book in the Windy City series. I have pushed this series off for a minute. All my besties have told me to read this. My besties know me, okay? Bestie Kaylee, who does my nails, I talk about Bestie Kaylee all the time. This is like one of her favorite series, like her favorite book boyfriend. We're gonna talk about in a second because it's the last book I read. Oh my God. She's been telling me to read this. Let me just start out because I'm gonna forget. 4 stars. This book got 4 stars. The only reason it got 5 stars was because it was a little bit too long. But let me just explain. Okay, so Mile High starts out with our FMC, Stevie. I love Stevie. I love Stevie. Her brother is Ryan. Don't even. We gotta get to Ryan later. But her brother is Ryan Shea. He is one of the most, I believe he's a point guard. Yeah, because you know these sports romances, they're not heavy on the sports, they're heavy on the romances. I believe he's a point guard. He's like the highest paid point guard in the NBA. Also, this is set in Chicago. If you guys didn't know, I've never vlogged in Chicago, but me and my husband, this is the first year that we're not going to Chicago, and I'm so heartbroken. My mom's family is actually from Chicago, like right outside of Chicago. So I grew up going to Chicago. Me and my husband go to Chicago. Obviously, you guys know we're Bears fans. I'm married into being a Bears fan, but I love the city of Chicago, okay? I ride hard for Chicago. And I'm back in Chicago, I feel it. Like, that's literally me. That's what plays inside my head, okay? Love it. So, one of my besties on Instagram, Nadia, I'll literally put her ad right here. She posts the, like, moodiest movie recs, all these things. She was like, this is such a fall-coded series. So I text Bestie Kaylee, and I'm like, okay, do I need to start this freaking series? And she's like, yes, please, God. I've been waiting for you to enter this era. I had not flops, but, like, you guys saw, like, Harry Potter was good. Obviously, I've already read it. Praise sucked. You know what I mean? To me, I hated it. And then Fucking Strong was meh. Like, I had just had, like, kind of a month. You know what I mean? So, we ended on a high note, to say the least. I start Mile High. It follows Stevie. I literally got so distracted, you guys. Oh my God. Her brother, highest paid point guard in the NBA. So Stevie, she is a flight attendant for the Raptors. I believe they're called the Raptors. They're this hockey team in Chicago. So all of a sudden she immediately hits it off on the wrong foot with Xander's. Yeah, Xander's or MMC. Daddy Xander's, Daddy Z. We're obsessed with him. And he's just like this hotshot playboy. Like, he's a bad boy. His best friend, who's also on the team, is like a good guy. They have this little good guy, bad guy thing going on where his bestie's a family man and he's the bad boy. He's with a different girl every night. He's photographed just like playboy, right? But secretly, he's not really a playboy. Like, he is a playboy, but like, he's a good guy, okay? So he's definitely like your regular schmegular, appears as the bad boy, but really he has layers to him. And he goes to therapy. You guys know how I feel about men who go to therapy. I literally am obsessed with it. We need to advocate for everybody's mental health, and men that think it's important to advocate for their mental health and work on their mental health, yeah, that's hot. Yeah, that's hot. So anyway, Xander's is this bad boy. So Stevie, she is a flight attendant. She has dated athletes before, and people have used her to get close to her brother because her brother is Ryan Shea. We'll get to Ryan. We'll get to Ryan, okay? We'll get to Ryan. Anyway, so she's reserved when it comes to athletes. And she's like, I need this job. Like, her ex was a piece of like, her ex was also an athlete, and like, she overheard him saying some things while they were dating, and she was like, peace out, like, I'm done with athletes, they're evil, like, da-da-da-da. So her and Xander's, like, immediately butt heads, okay? So it's kind of like low-key enemies to lovers, but not really. Like, the banter is bantering, and they keep seeing each other out everywhere, but it's forbidden because she is a flight attendant, and there's no fraternizing with the players, right? So what do you think happens? What do you think happens? Forced proximity? Forbidden love? Why, yes, the tension was there. As in, like, I just was complaining, and I'm not trying to bring praise up again, but I'm trying to let you guys understand. I love substance. I love tension. I love working for it. I love wanting them to get together, but like, they can't, and like, they're so like, oh, probably my favorite thing about this book, it's so funny because I tried to start this series forever ago and I just wasn't in the mood, so I was like, I'm just not gonna start it because I'm just not in the mood, right? I loved it because I loved both of the characters, and like Xander's, there were times when he was such a bad boy and he would just be like saying crazy stuff, and I'm just like, you're an but like, you're my, you know what I mean? I love it. Anyway, yeah, so I loved Xander's off the bat. I love a bad boy. I love a bad boy who's like actually a bad boy in the beginning. So we got to kind of see his front he put on, but he also was a bad boy sometimes. He'd be hooking up with girls until he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, I can fix him. I can change him. Stevie, she also loved dogs. She literally, her favorite thing to do was work at the senior dog shelter in Chicago. And without giving any spoilers away, you guys can, you see where I'm going with this. She loves senior dogs. She works at a dog shelter. Xander's and her, there's just things that happen. You guys just need to read the series. It is very fall coded, like my friend Nadia on Instagram that I showed you guys. She was like, it's fall coded. It takes place in Chicago in like the winter months and the fall and the cozy vibes. And it's just, it was such a good time. I was like, thank God, I'm coming off being kind of bored, to be honest, and like having such a good time. Like, it is just one thing about me is sports romance will pick me up every freaking time. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. The only reason I rated it 4 and not 5 is because, again, there's a third act breakup in these. So far, I've only read 2 books. We're about to talk about Ryan Shea. But it went on a little too long. I was like, okay, you gave me what I wanted, and now you're drawing it out, and now I'm like, okay, I'm ready for Ryan. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the only reason I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. But yeah, forbidden love, forced proximity, enemies to lovers, low key, good girl, bad boy. What more could you ask for? You know what I mean? And like, also secret dating. secret dating, because again, forbidden love. And it's just like, that made it even more, that's what I want. That's what I want. Also, characters, amazing. Liz Tomforde's writing, amazing. The, not world building, I almost said world building like it's a fantasy, but like just Chicago and just like, oh, like, I love an interconnected series. And like, again, just like I told you guys when I was reading Praise, I didn't care to read about the rest of the characters because like the rest of the characters didn't mean anything to me. I was like, okay, I don't care. I was so excited to read about Indy and Ryan because Indy, we're about to talk in the next book, so get ready. But Indy was introduced in the first book. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But she was introduced in this book, and so was Ryan, because obviously Ryan is Stevie's brother, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait. So again, this series not only hooked me within the first book, but it got me so excited to read the rest. Stunning and gorgeous. So, we're done talking about Mile High. Okay, the last book I read was The Right Move. Yeah. We did end September on a high note. Also, I am going to continue with my hopefuls for October, and I am going to tell you what I'm reading because we have to talk about that. But first, we're going to talk about Ryan Shea. Off the rip, 5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars. Let me tell you guys. September was very meh to me. Like just not it, okay? Not super exciting, not anything crazy, but when I read Mile High, I was so excited. I was giggling, I was kicking my feet, and I thought, oh, how can it get better? Ryan Shea is the greenest flag. He is like up there. I gotta redo my book boyfriend list because you guys, I made one forever ago and we need to update this because Ryan Shea, the man that you are. So in the first book, we already know Ryan because Stevie lives with Ryan, her brother. I forgot to say that whenever I was talking about Mile High. She lives with her brother and she's being a flight attendant for the Raptors. I believe the basketball team is called the Devils, and who Ryan plays for because he's a point guard. He's the highest paid point guard in the NBA. He's stunning, he's gorgeous, he's everything, right? But one thing about Ryan is he only has like a small group of people, and that includes basically his family and his sister who he lets in. Everybody else is at arm's length because he's so committed to basketball. So committed to being an amazing athlete. Not me talking about him like he's real. I need to touch grass. Anyway, so committed to being the most amazing and devoted athlete he can be. Basketball is his everything. He also has trauma, okay? So his ex-girlfriend, who he's only ever loved. I'm not gonna tell you what the trauma is because I want you to read the book and find out. And if you've already read it, you already freaking know his ex-girlfriend's a piece of shit. But he's felt like people only want to be with him or be friends with him or whatever because of who he is and what he can give people, and he has reasons for it. So if you read the book, you'll know. And if you've read the book, you know. So Ryan is reserved. He's guarded. He only, you know, is emotional for his sister, Stevie. He is literally, also they're twins, by the way. I forgot to tell you guys, they're twins. So Ryan is, you know, there for his sister. He's the most amazing brother. He was the most amazing brother in Mile High. So I was already freaking obsessed with Ryan, right? In walks in Indy, okay? So we meet Indy in Mile High. She is, in the beginning of the book, she is in a relationship, like a long term, I want to say 7 or 8 years, and she's been with this guy forever, and she's like obsessed with him. So she'll talk to Stevie, and she's like, oh my god, I'm so obsessed with my boyfriend, da, 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 whatever. And then all of a sudden, she's like crying. So the first time she meets Ryan, it is whenever she's like in his apartment and she's like sobbing, and because her and her boyfriend broke up because her boyfriend was cheating on her. She walked in on her boyfriend sleeping with somebody else. Yeah, disgusting. We hate her boyfriend. So she walks in to Stevie's apartment, which is where Ryan is, and she sees Ryan, like the first time they meet, she sees him shirtless, and she's like, God, your brother's so hot. Like, why does he have to be so hot? So their meet cute is very funny. She's very chaotic, and Ryan is just like uncomfy because he's like, what's going on? Because again, like I said, Ryan does not have time for emotions. Ryan does not have time for anything except basketball. Even his teammates and the owner of his basketball team is like, girl, you're just not involved. Like, da 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 da. They meet, and all of a sudden, Indy is telling Stevie, she's like, I need a place to live. And Stevie's like, why don't you live with my brother? And she's like, no, your brother like low-key hates me, whatever. So they're out, by the way, they're out drinking. The second time they meet, she throws up on his shoes. So it's just like, she's chaotic, he's not. We got a little grumpy sunshine going on. They become roommates, and they were roommates.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
They become roommates, and we got a little forced proximity. And guess what? We got a little fake dating. Yeah! So they end up fake dating because Ryan is talking to, I believe, the guy that owns the team, either that or his coach. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's the guy that owns the team. And he's like, listen, you're the best point guard in the NBA, but like, I need to see a little more human from you, right? Because again, Ryan's closed off and he's guarded. Indy is a hopeless romantic. She's also been done dirty by her ex-boyfriend. he sucks. You put those two together. You put a little grumpy sunshine together. She's chaotic. She likes color. His apartment's gray and sad and whatever. So she ends up just worming her way into his life. And also, oh my god, I don't even want to give this away because this is spoilers and I'm not going to give it away, but the things this man does for her, not just in front of her face, like this isn't giving anything big away, but he builds a bookshelf for all her smutty books because she loves reading smutty books. Also, one thing about me, when I'm reading a book, I freaking love reading about a character who reads smutty books. Hey. She is me, I am her. Indy, also, Indy's been on my baby name list forever. I don't even want kids for like right now, but like I have a baby name list, obviously. Indy's been on my baby list. I love that name, and now that I love Indy, I'm like up there. He calls her Blue, by the way. Her full name's Indigo. I think that's so funny. Indigo Ivers. And I just love that he calls her Blue. He calls her Blue and it's just like, it's so cute. And it's like she reads smutty books, he reads self-help books, and like his bookshelf is like organized by authors. And like at one point, no spoilers again, this is just like funny. She's like, you organize your books by authors, you're crazy. And so like she'll try to like spruce up the apartment with like little throw pillows and her little blankie and like pops of colors. She wants to have breakfast with him, which breakfast is their thing. Like, I can't. So also, back up. She has this genetic thing with one of her ovaries. Like one of her ovaries is like older. Her ovaries are older or something than like her age because she's in her 20s and she wants to do this like egg retrieval process. And I'm not gonna give anything away, but if you've read this book, you know what happens. It's so good. But anyway, I'm not gonna give anything away. She basically needs to save money because she wants to like have her eggs harvested and frozen so that when she's ready to have a family, she can have one because she's always wanted to be a mom. And you know, her ex literally kept being like, one day we're gonna get engaged, and like stringing her along, and then ends up cheating on her. There's also, you wanna talk about a jealous man? You want to talk about a jealous man? Ryan Shea jealous. Whenever a man is so like calm and composed and just like eye on the prize type thing, and then all of a sudden the only time he breaks is for her. There's a scene whenever he's playing a game and one of the guys on the opposing team like gets thrown out of bounds on purpose just so he can like shove Indy because he knows that Ryan is fake dating her, and he's like, oh, I want to like, you know, mess with him, and he breaks his cool just for her. The point is, yes, I'm obsessed with this man. Yes, I'm obsessed. The things Ryan Shea does, the way he is to his sister. Okay, we love Stevie, we love Ryan. He is literally like, he's so reserved for a reason, and like he has to work through his own trust issues, and we watch it and it's beautiful and it's stunning. But the way that like Ryan and Indy come together and the way they make each other better, it's so good. Like it's literally me with the right move. Put it in my veins. Put it in my veins. Put it in my veins. It's so good. I will be rereading this series, but honestly, if I'm ever depressed, I just need to reread The Right Move. I am obsessed with Ryan Shea. I am literally giggling and kicking my freaking feet. Also, there's multiple scenes with her ex who cheated on her, by the way. Don't even get me started. And when they fake date, back up. So because Ryan needs to be more humanized by his team and and like the owner of the Devils is like, hey girl, like you need to start out, hey girl, hey Ryan, you need to start being more involved with the team. I want to see a more human side to you. So he basically makes up that him and Indy are dating. I meant to say that. I'm literally just so obsessed. When I'm obsessed with something, you guys know I talk like a freak. My ADHD kicks in like times a million. But the point is, they fake date so that it can benefit them both. She has to go to a wedding where all of her like childhood friend group is gonna be, and her little ex-boyfriend's gonna be there who cheated on her. So like they have a benefit to fake date. They're also roommates, and she's saving up for this egg retrieval, and Ryan Shea does some things later on for her. Insane. If acts of service, and basically they talk about the love languages too in this book, and she's like, your love language is this, your love language is this, and he's like, my love language is you, Blue. Like, I'm obsessed with that. And also there's just like so many quotes that this man, like everything this man says, like I just can't. Obviously rated it 5 out of 5 stars. So that is that on Mr. Ryan Shea. I literally can't even talk about how much I love this man without giving any spoilers away, and I'm trying so hard, but just know, besties, I'm so obsessed with this man, and he is like one of my literal favorite book boyfriends. That's enough about Ryan Shea. I could talk about him all day. Literally obsessed with him. Okay, let's talk about what I'm reading right now, because these books are not gonna be like September reads. They're technically gonna be October reads because I still have quite a bit to finish. What I'm currently reading right now, even though it's obviously already October, but I did read these in a big chunk of September. If you watch my Days of My Life vlogs, you already know this, but pretend. Let's pretend. So I'm currently reading Alchemised by SenLinYu. Guys, this book, like if you know, you know. If you're on BookTok or Bookstream, you freaking know. This book is basically Manacled, which is a Hermione fanfic, rewired into a whole new world building, completely separate from the Harry Potter world, okay? So this is Manacled basically published, and it's completely SenLinYu's. As many of you know, if you watch my Days of My Life, I do plan on reading Manacled after I finish the entire Harry Potter series, because I just think it'd be kind of cool to do it that way. I knew Manacled was gonna rip my heart out, okay? So when it got announced that Alchemised was gonna come out and is gonna be completely separate from Harry Potter, and you didn't have to read Manacled before, because a lot of people are like, well, you should, so you know. I am glad that I didn't read Manacled before, because I have 300 pages left of Alchemised as of literally right now. So I might be done by the time this video is posted, but the point is, this book is so gut-wrenching. I definitely should have finished it in September. There's no reason I didn't. The reason is I was so depressed. I finished The Right Move, so freaking good. I start Alchemised. I'm like, ooh, hee hee ha ha, I just finished The Right Move. I'm fighting for my life. I'm literally fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life so bad. This is like probably one of the best books I've ever read. Like, I'm not even actually kidding. It hurts so bad. This is about war. It's about politics. It's low-key about immigration. It's not even low-key, actually high-key. It's about discrimination. It's about women. It's about surviving. How corrupt even the good guys can seem sometimes. It's dark. It is sad. It is gut-wrenching, but it is so addicting the way SenLinYu writes. Like, oh my god. It's amazing. It's literally amazing, and I'm so obsessed. I've annotated like every freaking page of the book. I did vlog like the beginning of me reading it, and then in one of the Days of My Life, but it wasn't really centered around that. And I am currently vlogging me reading, like finishing the book, so you guys will be able to see me like boo-hoo and like my thoughts. So if you want to know more about my thoughts, you can go watch my Days of My Life vlog, and then there will be a Days of My Life coming after this video, and it'll be like me finishing Alchemised, because after I finish Alchemised, I'm literally diving back into the Windy City series, which we're gonna get to. But I just wanted to update on that. I know everybody's reading that book right now, and I know a lot of people have it, like, they're like, you need to read Manacled, you need to read whatever. Take it as someone who's not read Manacled and not even finished all the Harry Potter books. I have seen all the Harry Potter movies. So when all these Draco girls are like, I love Draco, I love Draco, I'm like, I literally hate Draco. Now that I'm reading Alchemised, even though I haven't read Manacled, I know that Manacled is gonna do the same thing Alchemised is doing to me, which is destroy me. Okay, so I'm reading Alchemised by SenLinYu, loving it, killing me, destroying me. Yeah. It's also a 1,000-page book. It's 1,024 pages. I'm on page 700. Okay, so I have about 300 plus pages. And like, you know me, I love eating a book up, but this book I've had to slow myself down because I get upset. Like, I literally get upset. So anyway, enough about that. The next book I'm reading is Caught Up. That's the third book in the Windy City series. This is a baseball romance, okay? Also, my bestie Kaylee, she was like, low-key, the guy who's the MMC looks like a guy that has similar hair to Cash, like my husband, our book husband, you know our book husband. And so we look him up, she shows me, and he plays for the Cubs. So funny, because I love Chicago, but I just don't like baseball. I'm not a baseball girl, okay? I've been to a baseball game, I try to do the baseball thing, it ain't working out for me. I just don't like it, it's boring. But she shows me the fan art, I said, that low-key looks like my husband. Like, they have the same hair, but like that like kind of looks like my husband, right? I'll put a picture of this guy, whatever his name is. I don't know. Kaylee showed me and I was like, yeah, low-key, oh my god, he's cute, love him. I can get with that, okay? I can get with that. Caught Up is my nighttime book. So it's single dad nanny trope. I'm already in love with the little boy. He's so freaking cute. I'm literally obsessed with him. I'm already in love with, what is the dad's name? Kai. Kai is the dad's name. I'm obsessed with Kai and Miller. When I think of Miller's name, I think of Miller Lite. You guys know, I don't know if you guys know actually, my bookstagram and TikTok girls know, but I love Miller Lite beer. So yeah, anyway, the point is, I'm loving that so far. It is my nighttime book, but also since I've been reading Alchemised and dying and fighting for my life, Caught Up has been on the back burner. But that is what I'm reading. I will be continuing the Windy City series. Thank you, God. Okay. And then the last book that I'm reading is Born of Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. Let me give you guys an update because you guys will see a Days of My Life because I'm not freaking done with this book. You guys know The Primal of Blood and Bone, which is the 5th book in the From Blood and Ash series. This Born of Blood and Ash is the prequel series from the Flesh and Fire. If you know, you know. The girlies know, okay? I can't read the new From Blood and Ash book until I finish this book. I'm making myself finish this book because I've been reading the series in tandem, okay? This is the last book. The 3rd book, A Fire in the Flesh, I loved it. But this book has been taking me forever. So that would have been one of my September reads. But guys, you guys know, if you've made it to the end of this video, which thank you, love you, bestie. If you made it to this very end, you know that like I had a little snooze fest. It was like this, and then it was like, we're back to, It's not that I love Jennifer Armentrout's writing. I've talked about this in one of my vlogs before. I love, 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 love her writing. But she can be very, very wordy and over-explanation-y. Me who can't even write a full sentence. But like, I'm just saying, like, she goes into depth and over-explains things that like you kind of catch on and read between the lines, and then it gets re-spoken to you. And it's a lot of conversation. So I'm reading those 3 books right now. Even though I'm reading 3 books, the reason I would have honestly read 3 more books, which 9 is pretty average, is because Alchemised is killing me. Good, but it's killing me. So I just wanted to update you guys with that. And I do want to talk about my October hopefuls real quick. So my October hopefuls, I'm definitely going to continue the Harry Potter series. So the entire Harry Potter series is in my hopefuls. The Song of Achilles, I know this is not on my fall TBR. Stop. Okay, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? But anyway, that book has been literally on my physical shelf. You can't see it, it's over there. It's been on my shelf forever, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can get the audiobook on Libby and immersive read it. So I'm definitely wanting to read that. That is on my October hopefuls. It's one of my hopefuls. The Harry Potter series, obviously. The Windy City series, which I'm already reading book 3, and there's only 2 more books, which I don't really want the series to fly by. I feel like I'm gonna be in a book slump. Also, Alchemised is gonna put me in a book slump. And The Mortal Instruments, obviously, you guys know I'm continuing that series. So those are hopefuls, and I'm gonna continue my fall TBR. I have been trying to only read my fall TBR, but then the Windy City series just popped up, and you think I'm not gonna read it? You think I'm not gonna read it? Of course I'm gonna read it. And then obviously the Primal of Blood and Bone, but I can't, like I said, I can't get to the Primal of Blood and Bone until I finish Born of Blood and Ash, and I'm trudging through it. So it's been kind of one of those months, like, I'm like, ooh, good, look. Overall, the month of September was a transitional month. Obviously, we go from summer to fall. We loved her, she was cutie, and I had some and I had some ooh. So I met Ryan Shea, okay? So that was the month I met Ryan Shea, but definitely a and I wish I would have read more, but again, like I said, you guys know I went on vacation. That kind of put a little kink in my plans. I don't read on vacation because I'm just out of my element. I like to be in my element, my little reading chair, but that is my update. That wraps up this video. I feel like I covered all of my bases, maybe yapped a little too much. Basically, I feel like what I talked about the longest was how much I love Ryan Shea. And I tried not to give any spoilers, and it's hard. I need to get better at explaining plots of books without yapping and ranting, but you guys know when I love a book or I love a character, I have to speak like that. I'm sorry, it's like it takes over my body. The love for Ryan Shea and Indy, obsessed. Like, I can't wait to read more about Kai and Miller because I was obsessed. It's literally just gone up, 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 up. I don't know though if anyone will compare to Ryan Shea. I'm obsessed with him. That wraps up this video. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I literally love YouTube so much. YouTube has become my favorite freaking platform. I don't want to pick favorite children, but like, I love this community. I love my small cozy corner of the internet. I feel like we can just connect about anything. I mean, literally in my last days of my life vlog that I posted, I was yapping about my PMDD and my acne. Like, you guys are literally my safe space, and I just am so grateful and I'm so thankful for everybody that's watching this content, because I know long form content is like not as popular as like scrolling and quick videos and hooks and all the things. And for me, like YouTube, I love watching YouTube videos because it literally feels like I'm hanging out with somebody. So I always tell you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It literally means more than you freaking know. Like, I swear, I grew up watching YouTube. I still watch YouTube, especially when I'm like down in the dumps and I want to feel like somebody's with me, but I also want to be alone. You know what I mean? Like, not to get dark, but you guys know what I mean. You guys get it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!